Hey everybody, thank you for being here today. That is the end of today's lesson. What I need is for all the math teachers, 6th grade math teachers, please stay behind. Everybody else, you may go to your room and start getting everything pretty. Alright, math teachers, so since I just got back from an action-based learning conference, the first thing I want to do is get you guys to stand up, and we're going to play a little game and get your minds ready to learn. What I want you to do is we're going to play rock, paper, scissors, but we're going to do it math style. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to say rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And you're going to be able to shoot one of your 5 fingers. We're going to do math problems. So you're going to find a partner. We're going to say rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And you're going to add your number plus your partner's number. First one to answer the addition gets to go on the right side of the room. And let's not say loser. Let's try again. If you need to try again, you'll get on the left side of the room and find somebody else to play again with. And you guys will repeat this process for a few minutes. So for example, if you say rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and I have 2 and you have 3, that's 5. Alright, whoever answers it first goes to the winner's bracket, the other one goes to the try again bracket. And you guys are going to just do this for a little bit. Alright, now that you've been playing for a little bit, you kind of get the concept. You might be bored because you think that this doesn't pertain to you, it's not challenging enough. Remember, this game is what you make it. You can make it a subtraction problem. You can make it a multiplication problem. For example, instead of shooting one hand, we're going to do rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and you can give 2 numbers, and your opponent will give you 2 numbers. And the first one to add up your numbers, multiply by the sum of their numbers, is the winner. Alright, so I get you guys. I hope you know where I'm going with this. Okay, so we can all sit down now. That's just a little warm-up or a brain break activity you guys can do in the classroom whenever you think that you need some extra time, or you think the students are falling asleep because they're not meant to sit down forever. So you need to get the blood flowing and have the students ready to go. So today what we'll be talking about is backward design. So backward design has 3 stages, and we're going to go over those 3 stages, exactly what they involve. And in backward design, the reason it says backwards is because you want to start with the goals, the end goals in mind, and work your way backward. A real good example I read this summer of backward design was building a house. What's the first thing you do when you build a house? You hire someone to get the blueprints of the house. You get somebody to come out, or an architect to come out and draw your house. You want to see what the house looks like before you've even started. It wouldn't make sense for you to hire someone to come out and lay a foundation for you. You have no idea where the foundation is going to be. So that's pretty much how we're going to design lesson plans. So you're going to be the architects of your lesson plans. You're going to find out, what do I really want my students to know at the end of this course or at the end of this day? And we're going to go from there. So stage 1. Stage would be your product. Well, it's be your end goal, right? This is your house. Okay, so what are your desired outcomes? What should the students know by the end of this unit, and what will they be able to do? So this will be your TEKS. Okay, so whatever your TEKS are for the day, this should be your product. That should be the first step in your backward design process. Alright, I took a little bit of some 6th grade math TEKS for you, and we're going to go over knowledge and skills 6B 1A, and then we're going to do A, which is apply mathematic problems arising in everyday life, society, and the workplace. So this is a broad one, and the reason I chose that, I feel like it's a little bit easier to do, so because it gives you a wide range of activities. So I put a $100 bill in the background because I think that students like money, just like people. Everybody loves money. So what we can do is maybe some addition, subtraction, or work on a number line to work on positive and negative numbers. Stage 2. That's your process. Okay. What is the acceptable evidence? What are you going to accept as knowledge that your students understand what you're teaching them? How will you know that the students have reached the desired result? Is it going to be just formal assessing, informal assessments, just observation? Um, are you going to make them do maybe an art project so they understand, or to show you that they understand, or a PowerPoint? Something, whatever the assessment tool that you want to use, that is your second stage. So now we're starting to build a house, right? We're the architects, we're designing, we are starting to build a house. And remember, all of these have to be aligned with the TEKS. If your assessments don't test the TEKS, then you need to find something to fix, which is probably going to be your assessment. Okay. In the right corner there, I put a number line. So, we talk about money. You can say if they borrowed money, they'd be a negative, and they'd go to the left of the number line. However, again, some action-based learning for you. Number lines maybe on a piece of paper is not good to all of your students. You have some kinesthetic learners or some visual learners. So what you might want to do is get 5 or 6 kids to stand up in the front of the room and have one of them be 0. Then from 0, count to the right and have them be positive numbers, and then to the left to make your negative numbers, and have a student walk up to 0 or to negative or whatever the case may be. For example, if Joe asked you for $100, you could tell him to go negative $100, and obviously you don't have 100 people in the row, but you might want to make a multiples of 50. I guess that example is not very good. Let's just say Joe wants to borrow $5. He starts at 0 and walks to the left 5 people to be at -5. And when he pays you back, then you can go back to 0 and he can realize that he's still not in the positive. He's just even. And the final step is your presentation, right? What are your learning activities? What is the actual lesson for the day? What activities are you going to use today? What are you going to do to make sure that your students understand what you're doing? What materials and resources do you need? Like in the example I was giving you about the number line, the materials you would need would just be students to stand up, right? We really don't need any resources. Something simple. I know very hard for us to get funding to buy things, so getting students to stand up will cost us nothing. And then what kind of activity is it going to be? Is it student-centered? Are you going to be the whole class? It can be small groups. So you can do this in small groups. Maybe give the students 5 or 6 questions after the explanation or the lesson that you've done, and have them go to their small groups and see if they can form their number lines there. Or if you want to try a different method, that is fine. But I just really, really hope that you understand that backwards design sounds like a fancy word, but it's really not that hard of a concept to understand. Start with the end in mind and then go backwards. Think of building a house. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Since there are no questions, all I'm going to do is go over one more activity that I saw last year, and I thought it was really cool because I'm a huge sports fan. One of the math teachers at school was able to get students to plot dots on a number line, and at the end of the plotting they would trace the dots and connect, and the final shape would be the mascot of a football team. So students were allowed to pick their favorite football teams and draw the logos, helmet logos, just using graph paper and colored pencils. So I thought that was a good thing. The kids knew the end right away. They knew that they were supposed to learn how to, the students knew that at the end of the project they would have their favorite team's logo. So they knew they had to follow the directions very carefully and complete the assignment. Like I said, that's just another example. Think of backwards design when you are doing your lesson plans this year, and I really hope this short presentation helped you. Remember, my door is always open. If you guys need anything, please call me. If I cannot help you, I'll find somebody to help you because that's my job. All right, remember, we have content specialists in the building, and you can always lean on your team leader. Thank you.